Jai Hind to all. I, Chelsi Sen, Assistant Professor in IT Department, AKGEC, Ghaziabad. Today we will discuss about the computer system security, and in that we will be going to discuss the different security mechanisms, security attacks, and various policies in that involved in the cryptographies. What is system security, or what is a computer system security? It is a protection of information system from the theft or the damage to the hardware, software, or the information which going to disrupt the services which we will provide. Computer system security protects the information that is damaged, that can be attacked from the unauthorized author. It focuses on the various security attacks, various mechanisms, and security services. First of all, just discuss about the security attacks. What is security attacks? Security attacks is the policy which breaches the security. Breach the security means it breaks the security in between. Means whatever information we are having on the internet, which will be breached by the in between. So how to resolve that policies, how to resolve that system, we will involve the things that is the security mechanism. So security mechanism is the tool which include various algorithms, protocols, which will be designed to detect and prevent to how to recover from the security attack. So we will be having the various security mechanisms, how to resolve from the security attack. We will be going to discuss about all these things, and in which it provides the various security services which involve the various confidentiality rule, integrity, applications, and various authorization and the authentication policies. So let's discuss about all these things. First of all, just discuss about the security goals. What is security goals? Means whatever the informations we are having, we have to protect that. Whatever the data we are using, we have to protect the data. So what are the goals to protect that data? So first of all, we are having a security goals in which we are having a CIA traid. That is in which it involves the three things. That is, first one is confidentiality, second one is integrity, and third one is availability. So let's discuss about the one by one thing. What is the confidentiality, integrity, and the availability? Confidentiality. Confidentiality means whatever the information we are having, to it in this we have the ability to hide the information. Means whatever the confidential data is there, to hide that particular data, we use the confidential thing. Means whatever the important data in our day-to-day life, for example, we are using the particular credit card, so over the internet, so that is the confidential data. To protect the data, to not access any unauthorized person, so we are using the confidentiality. Means what we are doing in this, we are not disclosing our information, we are not disclosing our confidential data. Means every person have the confidential data, means that various particular persons have the permissions to access that data. So no unauthorized people can access that confidential data. So for that we are using the confidentiality. Means our data should be remain confidential. Whatever the information over the internet is there, on the global things, what things are available to the particular person, what the amount they are accessing, that should be remain confidential. So how we can achieve the confidentiality? We can achieve it by using the encryption and decryption. So confidentiality means we are not disclosing our personal data, personal information which harm to our personal and the confidential data. Like credit card is the best example for that. Credit card, ATM card, in which that data should be remain confidential. Otherwise anyone can access that particular data, and if the unauthorized person can access the data, so that will be very loss for the particular data to corrupt our data. So we have to disclose it from the unauthorized people. So this is the confidentiality. Next term is integrity. Integrity means whatever the data we are using, in that data we have to protect it from the modification or the deletion from the unauthorized person. Means whatever transactions we are doing, whatever information we are transferring from one place to the another place, so in between the data should not be modified, it should not be deleted, or it should not be altered by the unauthorized people. So it ensures that the whatever data we are transferring should be accurate and it should not be unmodified. For example, whatever transaction we are doing on the Google Pay or the Phone Pay, the integrity should be maintained on the both the sides. For example, if a people have transferred the amount of 1,000 rupees to the particular person, so the amount in the A account and the B account should be remain constantly, means integrity should be maintained. For example, we are having a particular data who had transferred the 1,000 rupees of amount into the B's account. So in this, if suppose it was having a 2,000 rupees of amount before, so whatever amount from 2,000 rupees he had transferred the 1,000 rupees of amount in the B account. So what is the integrity? That the whatever account we have done should be maintained in the both the sides. So now the amount should be in the A account, the amount should be 1,000 rupees, and for example it is having a 500 rupees in his account before, and after transaction the amount will be 1,500. So now the integrity means whatever data we have transferred, whatever the information we have done, whatever the transaction we have done should be remained in the both the sides. Means the updated account should be there, it should have the 1,000 rupees amount and it should have the 1,500 rupee amount. The transaction should be shown in the both the account. So the data should be accurate and it should not be the unmodified version of the original data. Means in between no changes should be allowed, no alteration should be allowed from the unauthorized people. So it is the ability in which we are protecting our data from the modification and the deletion by the unauthorized people. So it should be ensured by the policies that the integrity should be maintained and the data should be accurate. Next policy is that the availability. What is availability? Means whatever data we are storing on the server, or we are transferring from the one place to the another, who person can access, who have the accessibility power, that is the availability. For example, data should be not unavailable to the unauthorized people. Means only the data should be accessed by the authorized people. Means whatever the important data, whatever the confidential data should be accessed by the authorized people only. Means people who are having the permissions, who are having the right, who can only access this particular data. So availability should be there to the particular authorized people. Means if I am giving a permission to the particular person, those can only access the particular information. They cannot update, alter the things. So this is the permission right, ki who can access the data, who can available the data. So these are the three principles in which we have discussed about the security goals. First was confidentiality, second was integrity and availability. In confidentiality, we was just hiding our information. Integrity, in that we was having the things, means both the transaction, both the account should have the valid data, accurate data, so that the unauthorized person can't access, or in between they can't modify or delete. And last was that the permission, who have the accessibility power, who have the access control, who have the permission, those only can access the particular information, on only the important data will be available to those person only. No other person can access the particular data, or in particular organization, outside the organization, the people if want to access the data, they can't be accessed easily, because this will maintain the integrity and the confidentiality of the particular data. Next, just discuss about the security threat and the security attack. First, just discuss about the security threat. What is the security threat? Threat is like any damage, any violation which causes the harm. So security threat can be a malicious program, it can be a thief can access the particular thing, or it can be a viruses. So it can be a particular program, it can be a particular program which can causes the harm to our system. So it is a security threat, it is a potential violation of a security which causes the harm to our system, our softwares, or our resources which we are using. So to avoid this particular thing, we are having the various mechanisms for that we have discussed in the security goal, that should be maintained. Whatever data we are using, that should be maintained. So security threat we can avoid it from the various security mechanisms. Before that, we can just discuss about that the security threat and security attacks both causes harm to our system, which will be evolved reveal some information without the access, without the particular permissions. They are accessing the particular informations. So threat is causing harm to our system, our resources, our softwares. It can be involved in the security attacks also. So now just discuss about the security attack. What is security attack? Have you heard about the term? Hope you have heard about the term attack. Means attack in which someone try to obtain or destroy some particular information. So attack can be an information security threat. Means what the particular person want, he or she tried to access the particular data, particular information without the accessibility, without the permission. Someone tries to access the particular information. So in security attack, we are having an information security attack which involves that the person tried to obtain particular information, or he or she tried to destroy some information regarding the particular data, or he or she can alter the data, he can modify the data, or reveal the information where we don't want to reveal the particular information. So it can be done without the authorized accessibility, without the permissions. So those unauthorized person who are not having the accessibility permissions, we are accessing the amount a particular information, data, which he or she can reveal the information or destroy the particular information. So we are having a two type of security attacks based on their performed means how they can attack the information, how they can alter the information, or how they can changes the things. So on the basis of that, we are having a two type of attacks, that is passive and the active attacks. First of all, just discuss one by one about the active attack and the passive attack. Just discuss about the passive attack. What is passive attack? Means we are discussing that the attack which can harm to our system. So in passive attack, someone tries to access our information, means he or she want to access our system resources, means what resources we are having, he or she try to access our information, ki what data is there, what important data is there. So what the person or what the intruder have the accessibility, that the he or she tries to use of information, he or she tries to access that information. That is the important accessibility. They don't then they don't alter the things, but he or she just try to access that particular information. For example, here two persons are there, they are connecting on the particular internet and they are communicating on that particular thing. So one of the person just try, for example, they are communicating in between. So in between, one person just try to access the information between what conversation is going between these two peoples. So this is the passive attack, that what the information what they are try to access, ki what conversation they are going to have in between, what important conversation was there. It can be used in the defense academies where the conversation, where the important information is transferring from one place to the another. So in passive attack, what's the advantages? That someone don't alter the data. Okay, so in that thing, he or she just detect the data, he or she just try to access that particular information, which doesn't affect the system resources. System resources means whatever information in the system they are having, they do not alter that thing, they do not modify that particular information. They just try to obtain the information, that what information is being transferred from one place to the another place. So no alteration is done in the passive attack. So this is the, it may be used in the defense academies, defense government policies, what the policies is going between one place to the another. So there are the two types of passive attacks. First one is release of message content and next one is traffic analysis. Release of message content means first one is that in which just try to attempt the transmission content, means whatever information is transferred from one place to the another, they just try to attempt and learn the things, what the content is going to transfer. Means whatever the content is transferred from one place to the another, they just try to access that particular information. So this is the release of message content. Whatever the conversation, important conversation is going on, so they just try to attempt and learn that particular content, means they just having the acknowledge of the content, they just only want the content and the information that is transmitted. Next one is traffic analysis. Traffic analysis is the process in which just they examine the message in order which going to the, means they are just following the particular pattern in the communication, means at which time they are communicating, at which time they are transferring one information to the another information, means just they just try to analyze the particular information through the particular examine the particular message, that the particular pattern is there, means what communication is transferring, what in which time they are going to communicate the things. Just they just first do the analysis, after then they access the information. it can be it can be used for the intercepting the things which will deduce the information from the patterns, means for the next time when they are communicating, they just try to analyze the things so that they can easily access the particular information. Next one is active attack. As we have discussed that the passive attack just follow that the what the content is transferred, they just have the content information, whatever the information is transferring, just they just try to access that particular information. They do not um, they do not alter the particular system resources. But in active attack, what the things are there, they just try to alter the system resources also, means they not only modify the things, they don't do not access the information, they also do the alteration in between, means whatever information is transferring from one place to the another, but they just try to alter the things. They in between, the someone is just altering the particular message. For example, someone is communicating, Bob and Alice is communicating on the internet, but in between someone is trying to alter the particular information, means he or she just change the messages, he or she can alter the information, whatever. For example, someone had told that the meeting is organized at 9 a.m. So someone just try to miscommunicate the things, just false information can be transferred, that the timing can be mismatched, that the 9 a.m. is not the meeting. He or she can alter the particular information, he or she can alter the timings, means whatever the modification he can do in the active attack. So in the active attack, the person try to access the information. First he just access the information, then he attempt to alter the system resources and their operation, means whatever information, whatever operations they are performing, he or she can alter the things, he or she can modify the data streams, means he can create the false stream, false data can be communicated in between. So this is the active attack. The person not only tries to access the data, but he or she can alter the data also, or the system resources. So there are the various type of active attacks involved in the categories. That is, first one is masquerade, second one is replay, third one is modification of the masses, and last one is denial of service. Just discuss one by one the things what are there in the masquerade, replay, modification of masses, denial of service. What is masquerade? It is a attack. It is a type of attack where the attacker acts as an authorized user of a system to gain the access it. Means he or she just try to be an authorized person. He doesn't have the accessibility to access that particular information. What he does, he just try to access the particular information, means whatever the accessibility permission he is having, he don't have actually, but he acts as an authorized user. So this is the particular masquerade attack. Next one is replay, in which it involves the passive captures of the data units. Means what he is doing, for example, one person is trying to transferring the information from one place to the another. So in replay, what it does, he does the retransmission of the data. Again and again is the transferring of the data is done from the unauthorized user. To avoid that or to produce the unauthorized effect on the particular data, means whatever important data is there which can be missed in between, for the repetition of the data he is transferring again and again the messages. So in this, what the things can be, what can be disadvantage for the thing, the important data can be mismatched, means it can be missed in between the series of that particular data. Next one is modification of the message. In modification of the message, someone is try to in a message, someone tries to attempt access the particular data or he or she can alter the data. That particular data can be altered in between. So the message can be delayed, or he or she just try to reorder the particular data. So in modification of the message, what it does, if someone is transferring from one message from to the another, in between someone tries to access that information and just modify that particular message. Next one is denial of service. In DOS attack, what is there? The someone try to access the network or the web resources. Means without the permission, without the accessibility permission, the someone unauthorized person is trying to access that particular information or overwhelming the particular target. Means he or she don't have the accessibility permission, he don't have the access control, then also he or she just try to access that particular network or the resources. Means in a system or in a network, in an organization, someone is having the accessibility, only few people can have the accessibility, but in denial of service, someone just try to access that particular data without the authorized accessibility. He or she just access the web resources over the internet. Next one is malicious software. They are the various malicious softwares which are involved and which have the intention to harm our system. They are the various malicious software which just harm the system. It can be a viruses, Trojan horse, worms. Have you heard about the particular programs? Means these are the various programs which are created to harm the particular systems, that particular systems, particular network. So it can be viruses, worms, and the Trojan horse. We will discuss about the one by one the things. Have you heard? We will discuss about the particular terms. First of all, virus. What is virus? It is a program. We can say it is a program which can be attached to the particular any application. Means we cannot. It can be spread across a network. For example, it can attach to the particular program and it can be spread over a network. Means it is difficult to trace the particular virus across a network. If the virus it can be comes through the pen drive, through the different application. It can corrupt our particular data. Virus can harm in many ways. Just as for example, it can be corrupt or delete the data or files on the computer. Means whatever the files, whatever the things are over the computer, once the virus enters in our laptop or a system, it can corrupt the thing, it can delete the data, it can modify, it can changes the particular files in the computer. It can change the functionality of the software application. If the virus enters in the laptop, it can change the functionality. It can reduce the speed of the particular functionality of the applications. We are having a different software application, so sometimes we have noticed that the speed of applications running on the system just changed. The functionality of the applications get changed. So they are the various functionality which get changed through the viruses. Next one is using the email program to spread itself to the other computers. They can use the different programs in that virus can erase the everything on the hard disk. So this is the harm which was caused under your system and which can be avoided by using the different type of antivirus which is coming in the market. We can use the antiviruses to avoid this all the harms caused on the system. Next one is worms. What is worm? Worm is a self-replicating software that uses the network and that replicate itself. Means that can be generated automatically. For example, we are having a particular machine. It can be replicate automatically. It can be generate automatically. When we copy from one machine to the another machine, it get copied and it can be generated multiple times. So it does not modify a program, but it can be corrupt the things. Some of the examples of worms are that code red and the Nibda. Next thing is Trojan horse. Again, Trojan horse can be harm to us particular system which can hack the remote access. Means Trojan horse is a program which just convert the unwanted effect. It performs the desired task, also perform the unexpected functions to run the particular thing or do not the self replicate. But in worm, what was that? It is the self replicate. Worm was generating automatically, but Trojan horse is a program which is transferred from one place to the another place. it can be targeted. It have the hacker remote access, means whatever the information can be there, it is a program which can corrupt the data or damage the particular software application, which will destroy which can destroy the up system, which can destroy the resources which are used under the programs, or the information under the files whatever stored in our system. Next is various security services. From that we can avoid all the security attacks and the security malicious program, whatever the attacks we have studied, we can be use it by the various security services. We can avoid it by the various security services. These are the various terminology that we have discussed before also, but various security services which can be used and to enhance the security of the data. So security services are used to enhance the particular security of the data or the particular transformation information from the particular organization. So these are the various terminologies that we have discussed earlier also. Then also just we will discuss one by one whatever the things involved in the security services. First one is confidentiality. It can be accessed by the encryption or the decryption. What is the encryption? That we have discussed in the previous lecture, that the someone just try to, whatever the information someone is try to transferring, he or she just encrypt the particular data, so that the in between someone try to access that particular information, he or she cannot access that particular or the confidential data. Data integrity, where the data received should be exactly whatever sent by the authorized entity, means no modification nor the alteration should be done in between. Means whatever the data sender have sent, that should be same as at the end of the receiver side also. Means the data should not be changed in between. Integrity should be maintained, consistency should be maintained. Whatever the data is there, the data should be correct. Next one is authentication. What is authentication? Authentication is the thing in which we are validating the thing. Just discuss about the particular term. What is the authentication and the authorization? What is the difference between the authorization and the authentication? These two terms get confused, that what is the authorization and what is the authentication. First, just discuss about the authorization. Authorization is thing in which someone just give the permissions that this particular amount you can access, this particular information you can access. And authentication is the process in which we just try to involve that the whatever permission we have given to that particular person, to validate that particular person, is the authentication concept. For example, when we receive the particular parcels, we receive some OTP that to validate that this particular person have placed the order, or he or she is taking the parcel or not. So that's why the OTP is generated to validate that particular person. We are using the authentication concept or the OTP concept. That's why the OTP concept is generated, so that we can validate the particular person. So this is the authentication, whatever permission we have given to the particular person, to validate that person, that he or she is using that permissions or not, he or she is accessing that information or not. So that is the concept of your authentication. We have heard about the various term, that is the non-repudiation. Non-repudiation is the particular term in which it prevents that the either sender or receiver cannot deny from the message he or she have transmitted. For example, someone have transmitted the information from one place to the another, he or she cannot deny that this information is not sent by me, or the receiver cannot deny that this information is sent by me. Next is access control. Access control is that in which it can prevent the unauthorized access of the particular resources. Whatever resources the someone had access, whatever the particular accessibility power is there, to which person you have to give the accessibility, you can use the access control. Similarly, last one is availability, means what data, which person can access the particular resources, that is the availability. So we will discuss about the various policies, what is the concept to avoid that, we will discuss about in the next class, that is firewall, IDS. These are the various technology from that we can avoid the things. Till that, thank you and all the best.